Hey everyone. Didn't take too long. We are getting into Bly versus MarineLorD, and for whatever reason, people are letting Bly play on Dasan Station.
That's a mistake. That's a Bly. Bly was like, when they announced that this would be part of the map pool, that guy was like rubbing his hands with invisible soap, like, yes, this map made it to the map pool.
Yeah, actually. So that was like, he was the one guy that everyone said was gonna like it, was gonna use it, was gonna be able to play it. Everyone agreed. And oddly enough, people in general started letting it pass vetoes. Like, not that they prefer it, I think, but that they let it pass the vetoes. They referred over other maps. So you could argue, like, okay, I guess people have sort of figured it out. But I still don't think against Bly. I mean, I really think that Bly even has, like, an insta-win build on this map that he's probably gonna do. It's what got him a win versus Bjorn. Although, to be clear, it wasn't just Cheese that almost won games versus Bjorn. Bly actually had a very good series versus Bjorn for the Ting semifinals. But anyway, he did win because of Dasan Station and a proxy hatch. So I'm just throwing it out there. It could be really scary for MarineLorD. And here we go. New best of 3 in the losers match. Still not at all close to qualifying. They'd have to go through like 5 more series, I want to say, and win all of those to do that. But they're getting closer, I suppose. In the bottom right, as the blue Terran, he is MarineLorD.
And on the opposite side, spawning red, it's going to be the, now, is it Team Expert, I believe?
Yes?
Team Expert's red Bly?
Right? Yeah, okay, I've already forgotten. It is something really plain like that, though. Yeah, Team Expert. There you go. I talked about that while you were gone during that downtime and how the jerseys are at least cool. I mean, the name isn't that cool.
Okay. No comment. No comment.
I just, compared to the old Acer jerseys, okay, like the disgusting green, anything would be better. Acer got better jerseys in the future. In the past, whatever. Words are hard. So it's not going to be the proxy hatch. Maybe he thinks it's going to be countered by MarineLorD, who I feel like has already helped counter by just having his barracks a little bit farther back, but or if he just doesn't want to, doesn't have to, rather, and feels confident enough in his regular TvZ, it is still Dasan Station. We could still see like a roach worm planted down after the spawning pool, or hell, Bly's done fast 2-base Spire. He's probably the only one still doing it, I want to say, and he has done it on this map too.
That's the hard thing with predicting what Bly does, though, because this guy's willing to throw out a Spire, a Nidus Worm, Overlord drops, rushes. Like, I think that's one of the things that makes Bly such a very, not just good, but scary player to play against, because he's got so many tricks up his sleeve.
He really does. MarineLorD, no tricks here. There's that faster second barracks right before the supply depot, and the Overlord will not see that. I would say it's a decent guess. It's usually a very good one, but because it's Dasan Station, it might be a little different. Oh, he's eventually going to be able to scout it. Seems like they're both agreed to just go ahead and macro for the time being, despite these close positions forced on them. A couple lings going down. Just making sure they're not touching the drones. They're trying to. Oh, the poor drone! He's good. As good as someone being shot with a... What is the attack called? P45 Gauss pistol. Okay, I've never been interested in what that was called. That's a very plain Terran name.
You're just like, boo!
Yeah, basically.
Boo!
What's the queen's attack called? Talons and acid spines. It's also very plain. Claws is Zergling. Okay. So I guess the names of the attacks don't get complicated until like tier 2. Like cyclone attacks or name something really stupidly weird. Anyway, so it is that faster layer, and I'm gonna guess for a Spire. He might change his plan up if the Reaper gets a good enough scouts. He's certainly done that in the past. Meant to go for a Nidus, but then go for a Spire. But the Reaper does not get a secondary scout. Saw the lair, nothing else. You know, into the gas is being taken or not taken in some cases. But this is like, he's really one of the only guys still doing it. I don't know about Korea necessarily, but certainly in Europe, you know, it's mostly about roaches to begin with. But even beyond that, if they do go for Mutaling Bling, it's off of 3 bases, not 2. I think the reason for this really is just that you don't get the same permanent control over the game with mutas as you did in the past 2 expansions. Like, as long as you have your mutas alive, they would always be very useful. They could snipe reactors, they could snipe medevacs, they could grow into numbers of like 30 or 40. We all know that phase of Heart of the Swarm. And just dominate. Not really the case in Legacy of the Void. If Liberators ever come out, it's usually good enough. Plus, Marine production is pretty kicked up because of how many minerals you get initially. Like, it makes it work, though. I'm kind of painting a grim picture, but Bly, he still uses it because it does work, not because he's lost every single game he's ever tried with it. It is, I think, a little bit scarier, though. Because in Heart of the Swarm, everyone did it for a good, like, 9 months. Legacy of the Void, no one does it. It's almost done. MarineLorD's not going to bother to scouts, or scan, rather. The scout will come down with the medevacs. Unfortunately, lands on the link. That was very coincidental. Not supposed to happen. The timing on this is very particular, and it can backfire for both players very quickly. Either the Marines fully unload, and you have trouble because mutas don't necessarily help that much against stimmed Marines, or they are unloading, and the mutas snipe the medevacs, and it just makes the Terran's day terrible. I think so far MarineLorD's having a terrible day just because he can't unload. And it's not because the mutas are chasing him or anything.
First off, it's really good, I want to call it response. I hesitate to call it response, but really good positioning out of Bly. MarineLorD just kind of now cluing in like, oh yeah, I guess I could do this, huh? That would be pretty good for an unload. Cover one of my unloads with the other unload. Other side of the mineral line. So one of the problems on Dawson Station usually is about mining here. In this case, it's about just getting the army out. So it is this funny moment where you realize, like, I don't think he thought about this at all. This was like an accidental, all right, type moment. Attack on the other side of the map was just mutas trying to harass. Unfortunately, they don't get too much done. Widowmines and Liberators going to make sure that's going to be the case.
Yeah. You can take a fight with 2 Liberators. 4 is when it gets really, really risky, but the mutas definitely could not have cleaned this up on their own. They need the Ling support, and Ling plus a good number of mutas actually does a good job cleaning up Marines. The Glaive Worm helps, but still gotta be worried about getting your mutas focus fired. A couple of them were low from attacking the Liberators. Missile turrets are up. You can take down supply depots, take down tech labs. Gonna go for the refinery and a couple SCVs.
I just had a crazy like shower thought moment about Mutalisks. You know that sound they make when they fight, when they attack, like, or whatever that is?
Vaguely.
Whatever. The point is, what if it's not the Mutalisk that's making that sound? What if that's the Glaive Worm that's like, I'm gonna die! Screaming on its way down to the enemy.
I would have never thought of that because for the longest time I didn't realize the Glaive Worm was like a
living thing.
A living thing, yeah.
Yeah, it jumps from target to target.
I just thought it was like a boomerang that doesn't come back.
It's just a shitty boomerang is what it is. It's a stick. It's a stick that ricochets.
Yeah, just ricocheting. I didn't know it was like, I didn't know it was jumping. So basically what you're saying, this Glaive Worm was like,
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking happens. Oh my god, can you imagine? Just listen to it now when the mutas attack.
So dumb.
Great attack, by the way. Gets combat shields, I guess we're being silly, but the Liberator's gonna clean up so many of these mutas, so, oh, that could have stung so much worse for Bly. Loses 5 mutas, not the end of the world. I'd say 5 is actually worth denying combat shields for.
Yeah,
as long as he doesn't lose too many more.
I can agree. But the problem, right, is that either he's gonna lose more because these are so low and the Liberators are here, but also because his gold base is never mining. Like, he's supposed to be total control over the game. He's getting a lot of drones. I mean, hell, even to a 4th base would have been fantastic. And instead, he's having trouble mining off of a 3rd. That's not so great for him. And MarineLorD's getting his 3rd now. He's getting a lot of production, too. And Bly, man, I just don't see how he's ever going to be able to deal with this with Muta Ling. That's why he transferred over into Roaches, but maybe it's too late.
I mean, the other part of this too is like, there's the argument to be made. Oh, Liberators are pretty good versus air. It's really broken, but for Terran. But at the same time, Bly could easily take on these Liberators with those corrosive. If he splits a little bit, if he gets a couple corrosive battle shots, he goes for the medevacs instead. I actually love this. If he got both, if he gets both, that's not bad at all. It's terrible to lose the mutas, but it's the best of a bad situation.
I'm just kind of like, because it's not 8 mutas, then he went right into Roaches and drones. It's 16 mutas, no mining on the 3rd base, including the gases, and they all just died. So there's nothing MarineLorD has to worry about now. He can use Liberators to siege up. There's really not that many Ravagers, and I think MarineLorD has total control over this game, and even has upgrades. He's gonna have 1-1 over just 1. Combat Shields was heavily delayed, by the way. It was beyond just that canceled tech lab. It took him a little while to just remember to make it.
I wanna like. I want to talk to Joey about doing a mod where we make our own custom sounds for all the attacks. You know how hilarious that would be.
Marshnarg.
Exactly. Okay, so the Marine's gonna get a couple of shots off on the Ravagers getting picked off. Liberator's trying to siege up, but that's the danger of Corrosive Bile. The choke gonna work actually in Bly's favor here. Normally it would be the other way around with the Ravagers being what they are. Ling's trying to run by to the south tank, and the Marines should be able to. Well, Marines, Marines, please, what are you doing?
No, leave the tank alone. Okay, they noticed. They're gonna clean it up. But the siege up here is gonna be very complicated, especially because I mean, if you ever bring tanks over here, it's just gonna be siege on top of siege, plus like the Sim City to move around is gonna be so hard. These gold bases, he took this gold pretty quickly. Not really been touched. Oh, he's gonna go for the attack. Oh, the Wooderman. Okay.
With the amount of pressure on it, there's not a lot of necessity to actually have this base. You could have expanded upwards, northwards, and been have on a third by now.
Yes, he could. Yeah. I like MarineLorD taking this base too, by the way. I think a different world, a different expansion plan from Bly, not so much, but with this, it's pretty cool. Does lose the Liberators, and unfortunately was rallying, as I said, was good initially, but not so much now as he loses this tank, but he'll drop in the main base to make sure Bly doesn't counter. And get some okay damage done. MarineLorD should consolidate. Maybe wait for 2-2, maybe just wait for more siege units. Oof, MarineLorD's killed 22 drones. Makes sense. Bly should be on 60-ish, and it's set on 40-ish.
Well, the funny thing is, it's not even that he's killed a lot, it's that Bly's not been able to do much. He's been stuck in this base fighting over this one position for way too long.
Mm-hmm.
But, this attack's going to be deadly. In fact, this attack's almost game ending. Oh my god, down to 25 workers now. Bly is in such a bad spot. He might have the army supply lead, but it's in Roaches and Ravagers without the accompaniment of Infestors, or even Mutas really at this point.
Tumbling Claws did finish for these Roaches, so they get into the bases. It's going to be very annoying to clean up. We have a single Muta. Did you not die, or were you made? Trying to clear up
That's a great question.
This base is going to go down. Not that it was used that often, but of course this base also went down, so just Bly back to 2 bases, and MarineLorD he's having a little bit of trouble clearing up these units. He'll have double upgrades, 2-2-1 in fact, with tanks, and Bly kind of has this last hurrah here. It's not a bad attack, to be honest, but it is an all-in for sure. Tutu's about to finish. He has, oh no, with the
Bly
ramp.
has no
Okay,
life.
that's. Yeah.
Bly has nothing at this. He's got exactly this army to fight with, and we know that Bly is not only a guy who doesn't GG early, he's a guy who will stick out and stubbornly fight to the last. And I don't blame him. 90 army supplies, a lot of units to fight with, but there's no way to take on these tanks. There's not even high ground vision, so he's just going to bleed out to the Stim Marines at the top of this, much less those siege tanks. MarineLorD doesn't even bother to micro GG. He'll take the game.
GG. See, that's why Bly should have done the proxy hatch. Clearly. If I was his coach, I'd tell him right now.
You wouldn't be allowed in the game.
Yeah,
oh wait, that's
right?
Counter-Strike.
Hey. Current
Wait,
events.
you actually know about these politics in other games?
I know, right? It's surprising.
You guys, for those who don't understand, like, I can't get Zombie Grip to like acknowledge streamers outside of StarCraft, like much less other games in their politics. You just blew me away. Congratulations. This is like when you told me that thing you agreed with on the poll that everyone else disagreed with. I won't out you here publicly, okay? I'll keep you safe.
What?
But,
It's not. I love ketchup on macaroni and cheese. I said it. I love it.
Oh my god.
Where's the pride parade for this?
Anyways, the amount of like mind-blowing revelation I had there is only matched by what you just did now.
I watch ESPN on Twitter. I watch the esports lawyer.
Nice.
I'm up on things.
Okay, game number 2 going down on Frost. We're getting to the lobby right now. In fact, game is starting out pretty quick. So this will be map number 2 between MarineLorD and Bly. MarineLorD currently up 1-0. This is the losers bracket, and somebody's gonna get knocked out of the tournament.
Oh, I wanted to see what achievement Nerchio got.
What? You just got an achievement?
Yeah, it was like kill 100 something. Damn. Okay. Later. Well, maybe chat will catch it.
If you do this Control Shift O thing and go to chat, will show up there.
Hold on. Nerchio's achievement. Now I become death, but I can't see what it is.
Oh, you can't click on it?
No.
Oh,
So you're gonna have
damn.
to like search for it.
I'll Google it.
Okay.
Look 2 achievement.
In the top left on Frost, up 1, he is the blue Terran, MarineLorD.
And in the opposite side of the map, it's going to be the red Zerg player, Bly.
Did you find it?
Oh, it's a co-op achievement.
What? Nurture plays co-op?
I'm trying to figure out what it is. Oh. Kill 100 units with Kerrigan in a single mission on hard difficulty. It sounds like Nurture's playing his first co-op, is what that sounds like to me. Like,
He didn't think he'd get through the tournament so fast. I was all bored. He's actually, I don't know if we mentioned this or you weren't around, but he was in this tournament. Never saw any of his games. He managed to get through the top side of the bracket while we were catching snoots. So next week, like a week and a half from now, right? Like something long time. We're gonna finish this qualifier after the server qualifiers. Yep. And Nurture Snoot will play out in the future and send someone to the losers bracket. Yeah. Yeah, good. Just go Wikipedia, try to figure it out yourself. You'll have a good time. So it's Frost, cross spawn, and that should be favorable for Bly. He might go for a 2-base Spire again, just because I've seen him do it on Frost. Not like 100% of the time, but an odd amount, because again, 2-base Spire is not that popular. But he hasn't quite seen, neither of them have seen quite yet that it's the locations they have. For MarineLorD, locations don't necessarily matter with this build. It would influence the follow-up to it, but I think he wanted to go for the 3rd TC anyway. Did it last game.
can't really go wrong with 3CC anyways. Most of the times, the only time you'll, I guess, Marine King would be the exception.
Yeah, always go wrong with 3CCs.
Well, in fairness, though, it's less about 3CCs and more about the no bunkers, am I right? Like, what
And no
the...
scouting, yeah. So I really... Now, Terrans, all races have changed a lot, right? But those days of 3CC Terran MarineLorD, right? It's just like, that was an era on its own. Nopacom! Thank you for the 16-month resub. It's really starting to pile up, eh? Canadian,
Yeah.
eh?
Question, a good question coming to chat, by the way, because the winner of this goes on to fight a laser, okay? Pascal asks, don't you thermal your laser get a second chance? We're in the losers bracket. This is the second chance. Now, you could argue that they have a second chance in terms of going to the server qualifiers, but only by placing first place in this double elimination tournament do you guarantee yourself a spot in Copa Mexico. The way that the server qualifiers and the second place finish here are going to work, they kind of seed you into this like round of 10 with invited players from, I think, Latin America. So you could still probably qualify through. A lot of these guys, no disrespect to the Latin American community. You got really good players like Cham and others that come from it, but chances are, as long as you can get to that stage, you'll probably make it into that top 8, make it to the finish of what you want to be for Copa Mexico.
More like champs are, am I right?
Okay, Rifkin, you need to calm down. There's only enough room in this town for just one Rift game, okay?
I had to replace you for like 2 weeks, man. It's hard to let go.
Did you make bad jokes while I was gone?
I did.
didn't
Everyone
watch.
pointed out that I made a Rifkin joke every time I did
Aw, you're so sweet.
it. I know, right? So, by the way, it seems like Twitter was totally against you on this mac and cheese thing. Twitch was totally with you on this
What?
mac and cheese thing, right? Like, show
Did I
up.
just-
Everyone
I asked
was
the
like...
wrong audience. There was like 400 votes for no. And Hawk and other people were like, you're disgusting. Like, straight up tweeting at me like, you're a disgusting human being.
No, man, everyone was like, no, I'm with you, ZG. That's the way to do it.
Maybe
Yes,
it's
the wrong
because
audience.
you said it, though. Maybe that's
Oh, is that
I never
it?
actually said it. You said
They're
it.
actually, like, cringing internally at the thought of ketchup on mac and cheese, but
But they're
the
like,
odd chance they ever get to take me on a date.
yeah.
This
That's
is my
like a
favorite. Ugh.
Show up at her door, not with flowers, but a bowl of macaroni and ketchup.
Perfect.
Drop flowers with the ketchup on the macaroni. Oh, man, you're going to get laid.
Wow. Excuse you. You don't... Maybe. Anyway.
Depends if they're Korean or not, all right? Okay, moving on.
Korean guy master. They don't have to be Korean.
Standards, I understand. Spire finishing up, Stim finishing up on the other side of the map. Both players kind of playing at their own tempo right now. But for Bly and on Frost especially, we saw this with Snoot versus Euthermal. Expansions are going to be a pretty big deal beyond these like first 3 bases. And I'm worried that by going for this faster Spire, you set yourself up to be in a position where you're not really going to be expanding and playing macro and having lots of lings and roaches running around. Instead, you're putting a lot of effort and attention into these mutas.
I think I love what MarineLorD's doing. I think. So he did scout that it's going to be a 2-base Spire again without scouting the Spire, saw the lair. Oh no, he did. Oh, also the Spire. There you go. Here's exactly what Bly's doing. He's not going for the immediate double drop that he was prepping for with the build. He just sends like 1 out, which is whatever. But then he's waiting for Liberators. And if he pushes out with like 16 Marines or more, because he's still building them obviously, and Liberators, I don't think Bly can do anything with Ling Muta. That's why I'm glad to see him just really quickly switching over to Roach Warren.
Mutas get got a little bit. Man, it's always, I always just forget how fragile Mutas can be. Marines objectively don't do a lot of burst damage. It's a lot of sustained damage, right? But seeing them take a Muta to like 1 bar health like that feels bad, man. Liberators, on the other hand, do have a lot of damage, and it's a lot of splash damage, so they'll drive these off pretty quick. I don't mind you. Ouch!
Nicely done. But as I said, Bly very quickly went into Roaches. It was not the case of like he lost 16 Mutas after dedicating so long and so much into them. So even if he lost all of these Mutas, it would not be good. Don't get me wrong. But it wouldn't be as bad as it was on Dasson Station. Short map, not in a Roaches fast enough, doesn't have a 3rd base established. Like everything was going wrong for Bly last game. Not so much here. Worst case scenario, loses Mutas, he'll probably recover. And I thought I loved what MarineLorD was doing. He never actually attacked, so now I'm just kind of like, okay, he's just playing defensive, and that's fine too. Oh, the one of mine! Oh my god, you okay. Well, 2 Mutas left over to clear up traps. You know, they'll work. That'll help. 4 Liberators now maybe feel a tiny bit useless, but honestly, with 2 Mutas, they could harass, they could siege up as tanks do, and MarineLorD has not lost any units. I mean, has he lost SCVs? Okay, he's lost 7 SCVs, but he's not lost any army units, and if he does a push to the middle of the map, it might be difficult for Bly to hold on. Wow, this is gonna be quite a wall.
I don't think it's a bad thing. Not even a full wall off, even if it's just like a weird curve to the command center, but just to create that little bit of extra area the Lings have to run around, giving Marines a few seconds of extra fire could be huge. Not to mention if tanks come out top, high ground, all that good stuff. Anyways, Roaches with Tunneling Claws coming out this game. Now, Bly doesn't have burrows, so this is a little bit awkward. But the Tunneling Claws are going to put a really interesting spin on this, as they're really good at dealing with tanks and getting underneath the army. But more importantly than anything else, Bly's just good with Tunneling Claws and Roaches. That's Bly since Legacy of the Void Beta.
Thanks to Secretaries to Kill for the 14-month resub. Hung out with this guy a lot over the weekend. There's actually a Roach attack. You brought up the Tunneling Claws. It's not done yet. There's no Ravages here either. Maybe not expecting such a big Marine force.
It doesn't matter though. He doesn't have burrow. He can't use it.
Oh, well, yes, you're absolutely correct.
That was the point I was trying to make with that. Like, it's cool to see all these things, but he can't use it.
It's
I don't know.
Even if he had burrow and Tunneling Claws, like, what does he do? Run into the army and then burrow and hope he doesn't have a scan? Like, this has been a very odd attack in general for Bly. He is making it like hectic enough to be okay, but
he's moved to the back. I think he thinks he's about to have burrow Tunneling Claws ready to go, but
mistakes were made, man.
Okay,
so many mistakes were made.
What if this is the sickest mind game out of Bly right now, right? Sounds crazy, but you show the Tunneling Claws, MarineLorD starts investing in a bunch of missile turrets, and you're like, haha, way to waste all those minerals, sucker.
I showed you.
No, I actually think this is a genuine mistake on a Bly, and unfortunately, it's going to be costly, because that's the difference of these Roaches getting away for free, MarineLorD being forced to burn scans to even get kills. It sucks for Bly, because this was such a good, I like the strategy, it's just not working, because he doesn't have burrow, an integral part of the strategy.
Still hasn't gone for it either. So again, like a lot of mistakes could be made on Frost, I think, for Bly. You know, he could accidentally throw away 20 Roaches, or he could not get damage done had he really had Tunneling Claws. And there's a lot of time to recover. You know, there's creep spread in the middle, there's just straight up the distance between your base to theirs. That's a lot of time to recover, get more Roaches, get more Ravages, whatnot. But he lost more than that. Like, he lost so many Roaches trying to tunnel Claws and that didn't work out. He lost so many Roaches just being rallied in. He lost more Roaches on the front lines here, and his creep is getting cleaned up, and he really does not have an answer. He's down in army supply, and he's got Roaches. Target fire on the hatchery means he can't take on the Roaches anymore, but that's fine. Just lifts and leaves. Just lifts and... What are you guys doing? Ladies, please. Sorry. The infestation pit is on the way now, and that could certainly buy a lot of time. It really sucks to have lost the 4th base, though, and Bly is banking a lot of minerals, so a bit of odd split there in economy. Again, I mean, no coming clause, finally Burrow on the way. He will be able to start harassing, but it's been so long.
I mean, the problem is, though, and it's what I went into earlier, like, the whole idea behind Frost, and more importantly playing against MarineLorD, you need to expand a lot, and Bly's not playing a style that's letting him do that. The investment in mutants, into tunneling claws, into what is only like now a really late infestation pit. It's almost too late to try and consolidate a 3-base game. He needs more.
Yeah.
Now, in fairness, fungal growths, corrosive biles, these can catch anyone off guard. But Bly has not got more than 1 Ravager, so these infestors that are on deck are no good.
Well, that's a bit of a pickle. Tunneling Claws will help out a lot versus any tank position, so that's some good news here, but MarineLorD's bio might just be better than tanks, actually. Just numbers, upgrades. Tanks always good to have, but not the best part about this. Actually, the best part might be the fact that there's 12 medevacs, so everything's being healed super quickly. Ravage is finally on the way. Infestor does pop, but with no energy. And tanks have this little ledge. That base is forfeit. Gonzo. This base is almost done. He's almost being able to transfer his drones over there, but Bly's in a very, very bad position. It really feels like MarineLorD's going to be able to advance. The winner of this, by the way, is going to go on to face Laser. The more you know. Strange and Muslim is still going on. That must be a really long game. More reinforcements coming through the middle of the map. No medevacs here, so that's a little dangerous and looks a little odd. Might even be sloppy too. I don't think he should actually push with this. But he's gonna get pushed with it. Oh god, that's kind of... It's not quite free units, especially since the Infester's getting target fired. Nicely done by MarineLorD, but that could have been a good chunk of army. Instead, it gets away because Bly has to retreat back to defend against this drop. He's so out of position. Loses the 4th base over here. Makes sense. That's where reinforcements went to. He has the high ground. He has this ramp. A couple of Infestors could be targeted down. You get close enough, the tank could get him. Oh, not targeting them down, but also they're not doing that well anyway.
They don't have vision.
Do they not? Oh my god. But you're right, for a good chunk of the army they don't, because the creep's gone.
It's weird, yeah, there's normally an Overlord or a creep tomb or
Oh my
something
god.
there. He didn't have vision on the corner of his base, and that's what cost him so much.
I checked Bly's vision, and the amount of alerts that popped up on the minimap was insane.
Yeah, I did too. Like, there's like 3 little exclamation marks immediately.
God. Does deal with that little odd little run by of reinforcements that have no medevacs, so that's something, but cannot deal with his main base. He's down to 1 mining base. GG!
Well, Bly will hopefully have a good time hanging out at Gamescom, but MarineLorD will be the one who takes the series and knocks him out of the second part of this qualifier, the double elimination aspect.
Yeah. Yep,
But
yep.
this next match is so very important for a Laser. MarineLorD, obviously, if you can actually qualify through this and win the actual event, obviously each player has, like, with the goal of winning Copa Mexico, winning a WCS spot, really hoping to get all the money, all the points, maybe have a chance to get through. I don't know everyone's points. I know Lasers and I know Drogo's, though, because they're both so bloody close to breaking into that top 8. So a Laser needs to not just win here against MarineLorD, but the rest of the qualifier to get a chance to go to BlizzCon.
It's a lot of pressure.
I don't know if he's thinking about it like that. I would hope not, because I think pressure is not going to be the same as stress, where it's a motivator. I think in this instance, it's too much to think about. You just got to focus on beating MarineLorD.
Yeah.
With that being said, guys, we're probably going to go to a break. We don't know how long it'll be because players have to do vetoes. It may be a little bit longer than normal, but stick around. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys in a bit. Ow, ow.